This is just going to be quite a short video about the Rugby World Cup, something that is getting pretty close, and I'm sure there are many people very excited about it, just like I am. Um, as someone who's Irish, it's possibly the only World Cup where we've gone into it with absolutely any possibility of even making the semis, right, or even make, let alone a final. So I mean, it's great. Let's not go crazy and think that Ireland are going to win it. I think we need an awful lot of luck to do so. But it's great that we have such a good team. I just want to just a couple of predictions. I think it's pretty clear at this stage that South Africa will beat England, and South Africa will head top that Group A. They won't really have any difficulties against Samoa, USA, or Tonga, so England will go through pretty handily in that group as second place. In Pool B, Australia, Wales, and so on. Everybody watched the Wales-England game, and after that wrote off Wales as any possibility. I'm still, and I know I watched Australia in the Tri Nations, and I saw them beat New Zealand, and they played well. But I still think that Wales Australia could be the biggest upset of the tournament. I think Wales could beat Australia and top that group. The rest of that group having a chance. But like any of these groups, you have the terrible teams that, you know, your Portugals, your Namibias, your Tongas, your USAs, your Canadas. Those games are difficult because you're playing professionals against semi-professionals or even amateurs. So the techniques are different. It's much easier to get injured, and this World Cup could, and it would be a terrible thing if it did end up being like this, but it could hinge on the injuries that occur during very one-sided matches. Pool C, New Zealand obviously to get out of that, which what I would think would be the possibility of a world record point score against Portugal. I think New Zealand will possibly be going to beat their previous 133-0, I think that's what it was, record against Japan. And I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if 150 points were put up against Portugal. Scotland and Italy to come second. For me, it's Scotland will come through here. They've bulked up so much. I mean, I cannot believe how much stronger they've gotten in that match against Ireland. They did like exceptional. It was the best ball handling levels of ball handling skills, controlled aggression that I've seen in Scotland in 4 years, maybe more. So I would say Scotland will go there. Although Ireland play Italy next Friday, and we'll have a better idea of Italy after that. But I think Scotland are a pretty safe bet to get out of that. Pool D, group of death. France, Ireland, Argentina battling it out for two. I think every team will beat one other team. I think Argentina will beat France, Ireland will beat Argentina, and France will beat Ireland. And I think it'll come down to points in this group, to be honest. I think we are well capable of beating Argentina. I think Argentina's style of play is capable of beating France. And we have such a bad record against France recently that I don't see us beating France in Paris. So I think with points scored, it will end up being France, Ireland to get out of the group, because Argentina I don't think will score enough points. So after that, I mean, in terms of semi-finals or quarterfinals and semi-finals, I'll skip on to the semis. I think you're going to have South Africa there. South Africa are my favourites for the World Cup, to be honest, besides New Zealand, of course. But I think South Africa can hammer anybody in the forwards. They've played a very interesting game in the Tri Nations with only putting out second teams, and a very controversial way of doing it. But I certainly think South Africa would get to a final, and further that they could possibly go all the way. After that, so obviously New Zealand's first, then South Africa for me, followed by France. And then I think it's a toss-up between Ireland and Australia. It all depends if we get out of our group, because I think if we get out of our group and come second, well, then we have New Zealand, and obviously won't get through. But if we come first, we would have Scotland, which I think we would be able to beat them in the World Cup. And then after that, I mean, you don't know what's going to happen. So but at the end of it, I think it's going to be a South Africa-New Zealand final. with South Africa narrowly scraping it, and Ireland to get to its first semi-final, hopefully, and not have a repeat of the Lens disaster. So that's it. And obviously, it all depends whether Ireland can keep healthy. If Ireland can't keep healthy, then Argentina all the way. But I hope that won't happen. Cheers.